Okay, hi. So this is a quick zip through some of the stuff you should have in your kit bag to avoid common mat-borne infections and to make sure that you're really hygienic on the mats. So personal hygiene is very, very important in Jiu-Jitsu and much more important than in other sports because of how close and how in contact we are. So it's very, very important that we follow some of the rules of the club, some of the hygiene rules, and I'm going to take you through just what's in my kit bag and what I think should be in everybody's kit bag. So to start out, my gear bag is actually about this size. People say, oh man, how do you get everything in that? And the answer is I don't, right? So I put in my soap, my towel, my spare clothes, whatever I need for after training. And then what happens is after I'm finished and I've stuffed all my dirty gear back into that bag, the bag also goes in the washing machine then as well. So about 3 or 4 of those on the go. They're just tote bags. This one came free with a gi. And you can get them in sports shops for €1 or €2.50 or whatever it is. So it just means that you've got a hygienic bag. So a lot of large sports bags, what happens is you stuff them full of gear, wet, damp gear, your shoes, your whatever it is you put in them, and then they sit in your car overnight, and then they go into the the washing machine. But the gear goes in the washing machine, but the bag remains kind of manky. And then you take your clean gear out, stuff it into the manky bag. Okay, it's not really great logic. Within that, speaking of €1.50 or cheap stuff, I have a cheap pair of flip-flops that I bring in around the place as well. So I have 2 sets of flip-flops. First of all, because of my job, I get to walk around pretty much in flip-flops all summer. But I don't wear the same pair around the gym as I wear out in the street. So if I'm walking around, I'm walking the dog, I'm doing whatever, I don't want to get all that and carry them right up to the edge of the mat. And so likewise, if you have shoes, street shoes that you're normally wearing, and you're running around, you're walking to the gym, or you've been walking through work all day, you don't want to wear those up to the edge of the mat. Okay, so you want to have flip-flops that you change into in the changing room, and so that way we keep the gym reasonably hygienic. Within my kit bag, I have plasters and tape that I bring everywhere with me. There's plasters at the edge of the mat there. I don't actually have my own small box of plasters, but those are the ones from the first aid kit. And whoops, this is my tape. That's for my own personal use, which doesn't stop everybody in the entire gym from using it. But I always have a thing of tape to cover up any open wounds, open cuts, or anything like that. So if I get like a nick in my hand, if I cut my finger or anything like that, if I get a graze on my knee or my leg, I make sure that that's covered. So your open wounds are susceptible to infection. And if you allow a wound to get infected, that's what leads to things like staph. So staph isn't a common, it's not something you can really catch off somebody else. It's something that you're going to get from having an open wound and allowing it to be untreated. So make sure that you have tape and your own plasters, your own tape and your own plasters. I use this is my soap dish, nice and pink so nobody robs it. I use antifungal soap, but you don't necessarily have to use any specific type of soap or any brand. The most important thing is that you're showering directly after training. So you must shower immediately you get off the mat. So don't wait to go home. If you do, then you're just really giving things a chance to bed in. If you live close and local, of course, you can bomb home, you'll probably be just as quick. But if you are coming off the mat, it's best to shower there and then, and that does really reduce your chances of getting things like ringworm, anything like that. The final thing is your kimono and your belt. So your kimono and your belt should be washed directly after training. So you should be, one wear equals one wash. And that goes for rash guards, shorts, and knee pads and supports as well. So don't allow those to go stinky. Ear guards or anything like that, you need to wash those or rinse them. You can steep them as well and things like, not Dettol, what's this stuff called? Milton, the people dropping them with the baby sterilizer stuff. Belt should be washed. Loads of people don't wash their belt. Crazy old superstition was that if you washed your belt, you're washing away your skill, So if you're that superstitious, don't bother going back training. But wash your belt just the same as you wash your gi. Your gi should be washed every session, regardless of how much you sweated in it or how much you think, hey, I didn't really train hard, so I'll just leave that one hanging and I'll wear it again the next day. We even used to be a little bit guilty of it too, but back in the day when you went into the gym, all around the walls were just gis hanging up, gi jackets usually, where people had just worn their gi and just hung it up again to wear the next day, no matter how much they sweat. And I'm sure it'll be dry by the next time I come in. Manky, right? How we all didn't get like, I don't know, dive infection, I don't know. But if you have a gi, one wear equals one wash. There is also, guys, kind of end of life with a gi as well. If your gi is kind of smelly, as soon as you put it on, that's a pretty good sign that it's kind of impregnated with I don't know what. And you have to remember that inside, within the thick collar of your gi as well, depending on the manufacturer, it's usually a big thick rubber insert, and that can be kind of gone a bit manky and a bit smelly as well. So there is an end of life to the gi. So check your kimono, look at it, and say to yourself, does that really look like something that's that I'd wear onto the match, you know? And just pick up a new one, you know. It might be time to put that one out for the clothes recycler or whatever. Other than that, guys, if you do get anything like you see any rashes, anything like that, anything you're suspicious of, usually they can be just like heat rashes or things like that, but it's best to treat them as though maybe that could be something I could pass on to somebody else. And because we are in a unique kind of situation of being in a contact sport and a combat sport where we constantly grab, hold and pull each other, we are uniquely contagious to each other. Now that's not to say that everybody is going to get ringworm next week if one person gets it, but it is there is a high chance of getting it if you train with somebody who already has it. So if you do get something, address it by going to the pharmacist first of all, and they'll usually be able to give you an over-the-counter cream. Anything that sticks around, you might need to see your GP or your doctor for. But usually, with ringworm in particular, you can get rid of it in about 4 days over the counter with just some normal cream. Okay, if you have any questions, it's best to ask one of the coaches up here. They've all fairly experienced with this kind of thing. But do follow those hygiene practices, and I guarantee you'll really mitigate your chances of catching anything like this. Okay, thanks very much for watching.